Okay, let's get started. Well, welcome. This is a tabletop exercise. Well, okay. Tabletop exercise is some simulation of some event. In this case, cybersecurity event, incident, right? So 5 guys, a virtual team against the incident. And we are talking about, hey, what should I do? What can I do? Or something. Discussion and solution, right? Before jumping into the situation, let me some silly talk. Well, okay. All right, so first, the introduction of yourself. Yes, you first, please.
Hi, my name is Adolfo Garcia, or Puerco. I'm a software engineer.
Hi, my name is Takanori Suzuki, and I'm now leading the OSPO at Cybertrust. So my actual role is same as this role.
I'm Hideki. My daily job is managing the AWS GitHub repo or something. But today, I'm a lot of the developer.
Hi everyone, my name is Arpit. My role is also somewhat similar to what we are presenting today, but I'm an independent security researcher. Yep.
Hi, I'm Kazuki from IPA. My role is as a customer. Okay.
Yes, thank you. And I'm a Muuhh Ikeda as a moderator. Okay, go ahead. Well, agenda is okay. All right. So first, let's agree on what is an incident response and why we should be ready for the cybersecurity event incidents. What the tabletop exercise is, as I said, this is a simulation, like a mock disaster. Yes, that's probably all. Yes. Typically seen as a part of business continuity and disaster recovery process. We should be ready for that. And this is a common sense here. Why should we care about incidents? That's very general. Well, a few lines I would like to introduce the fact. The first line, in 2024, the average lost by the security incident, this is a data breach, it's 4.88 million US dollar. It's too expensive, right? We don't want to lose money by the security incident, so we should be ready for that. Well, the second bullet, time for the recovery to contain the breach into 2024 was 258 days. It's so long. 8 months? 9 months? It's so long. And next part is okay. And the how to shorten the time for recovery. The S-bomb is very beneficial for us. The report said that the S-bomb can shorten 264 days average. It's longer than the average of recovery time. Probably because, this means if we don't have S-bomb, the recovery time is longer than 1 year, 1.5 years. But if we have S-bomb, it can be 1 month or in the best 2 weeks or something. And the last part, well, this is a time to break out the system for attacker. The report said, this is average, probably average, is 28 minutes. Of course, I believe this case, the system has something wrong, backdoor or something. In that case, it takes only 48 minutes to break out. Well, and it reports that the shortest case, it takes only 51 seconds. It's very short. So we have to care about the incidents. And next page is, this is very common also. Why does security matter? The first is, of course, identity theft. That's dangerous for us. And next is industrial espionage. Espionage is a not common word in Japan. It's a spy, industrial spying to steal the information. And third said that the character or brand defamation. Defamation is also not common. Defamation is abusing the good name, right? This is the risk. And of course, financial transaction must be guaranteed, of course, yes. And we have to continue the business. So business continuity must be injured. Japan has many natural disasters. You remember 2011. Oh yeah, 2011, we had tsunami. And of course, in the United States, this is 25 years back, September 11 happened. This is natural. This is not natural. This is political disasters, but we have to be ready for them. Okay. And in short, Carabiner security says good things. You are our target. These risks are not fictional. You are a target, I am a target. And interesting thing is Carabin's own security was attacked by huge DDoS attack in 2016? 16, yes. So Carabiner security is also a target. Everyone needs target. Like 2 months ago also. Oh, really? Again, right, okay. And in the incident, process or proceeding is phased in this case in 6 stages, which is called as a picerl, P-I-C-E-R-L. So the situation we will have is going along with this phase I'm pointing each time. So first phase is preparation. This is before the incident happens. We have to prepare them, okay? Documentation or some make guide, playbooks, or some readiness, okay? And right after happening of the incident, the phase is identify. What is the incident what is the incident, right? Well, the interesting thing is written here. Decision point, eradication or prosecution. It means that we have to decide which is important, more important. That means prosecution means some suing someone. So if the attacker, if the attackee, we have to sue someone, attacker. In that case, we have to collect the evidence. But collecting evidence takes time. So in that means the recovery get be later. But of course, we want the system to recover earlier. So we have to choose which is important. Collecting the evidence, that means a prosecution, or early eradication, early recovery. So this is a decision point. This is very interesting insight. And the third phase is containment. Of course, we have to stop the attack. So this is a containment and eradicate. We have to remove some attackers' artifacts on the system. For example, format the storage or something. And recover. We have to recover the system for normal operation. And last phase is lesson learned. This is probably after the recovering. looking back the case and document the investigation and point out the learning points and improve the guide or playbooks or something else. That's 6 phases. Okay, we are agreeing on the general idea, what the tabletop exercise, why we should be ready for incident and the incident phases. All right. Okay, let's jump into the situation. So before that, let's say, introduce our organization in this simulation. There is a company, large car. Actually, I searched on the web. Actually, there is an actual company, large car, but the actual company is not related to this situation, right? This is virtual company name, Logical. Well, the Logical is using an open source software called Flutter Nutter. This is a software. This is not the sandwich, okay? And the company Logical is providing the service using the Flutter Nutter to the customer. And of course, there's a researcher. He is always searching for something open source, and he's finding something malicious in the Flutter Nutter. This is the situation. Okay. And in the actual case, there are many other stakeholders, right, around the situation. It's you. Like coordinators, hey, please ignore that. Regulator from government or something, yes? And other OSS projects exist, many OSS projects, right? The foundation, like a Linux Foundation, and OpenSSF is also that foundation guy. And PSART, yes, PSART exists. And a government is again, and the source repository provider, yes, let's say it has a CI/CD system. And responsible researcher, yeah, many things. It's you. So please don't hesitate to say something, even if it's interruption. It's you. You are in the situation also, same as us. Okay. Cyber event happens, but before day 0. This is before the happening. Normal days, it's peaceful day, okay? Well, so first question I want to have here. Now we don't have any incidents, peaceful day. Well, page 15, yes. What do you think about have some for especially developer? Yeah. Well, do you have some incident response or some recovery process in the development?
At the peaceful day?
Yes.
At the moment, I don't have any ideas about the incident because I want to concentrate, develop the source code and just fix the bugs and just add the new cool features or something. So at the time, I don't have any idea about the BCP or something. So I just enjoy the flutter, eating the flutter and thinking about the code at the time.
Okay, thanks. He's an actual developer, so this is a real talk, right? Thank you so much.
It's a virtual OSS project to do.
Yes. All right, so let's jump into the situation. Day one. Yes, fired. Woo! It happens. Well, the situation is like that. A critical vulnerability is introduced into a CI/CD system of the open source project. This is a tragedy. And yes, this issue is not detected. And the CI/CD system created some package with some malicious software. And the package is used by the enterprise system. This is dangerous. Okay? This is the situation. All right, day one. Open source project developed by him. The CI pipeline is evaded, right? And hours later, automated analysis flags the release for the containing some obfuscated code, which is not present in recent commit. Obfuscated is a, you understand? Japanese guys, okay? No? Oh, yes, hard to read. So scrum the code or yeah, right. Obfuscated code is there. What's that? We don't know. But there's something malicious because this is not present in the recent commit. Clearly.
Not by me.
Yes, I know. So, okay, let's start the situation. So, okay, so let me ask some question for panelists, our virtual team. Well, I prepared the questions. Okay, so first, the researcher who found that, okay, how can we detect this kind of anomaly? How do you think? How can we detect?
I would ask, how is this tool being used in your tooling, not only for this repository, but maybe for your entire code? How is this tool getting used? At the same time, I will keep my eyes on websites like Shodan to see if anybody is claiming that they have compromised your system or any of the clients. Because many times hackers, they try to claim bounty or they try to basically feel proud on websites like Shodan, and they pretend that they have compromised systems. So I will ask a question to you, if you can check in your application's dependencies, how is this tool being used? Or maybe the tools that you are using is using this tool. It can be a lateral, it can be a supply chain attack in that sense.
Again, thank you. And may I have a second question for researcher? Well, this is a very hard question, probably tough question. Well, how should you responsibly notify the ecosystem when you detect something malicious?
I would be following the ecosystem security policy. I will not be creating an issue on their GitHub page or any page mentioning what is happening because it would make the issue visible to everyone. I would be notifying the security policy team, and if I don't hear back from them in a soon enough time, I will try to reach out to other security practitioners if I can find, and try to get them to pay attention to the issue which I have raised over there. I will not be mentioning to them what is happening, but I will be directing them to go and find that issue number.
So probably the important thing is to define the process to report
Yes.
all open source project. If there is not, we are.
You will make the problem worse for everyone.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Well, and the developer again. Well,
Yes.
probably each question is tough, so
Yes.
please be patient. Okay. Well, so what kind of visibility exists in CA infrastructure for compromise? Do you know what I mean?
No.
No. Well, so how to detect the compromise like that in the development phase of the open source project?
Just someone reports to me or us by if we have the security contact mail address, they report to that. If we don't have such special address, they just report by issues by a backtracking system or something, or just by a SNS someone shouted, "Oh, my system is compromised, and the component is something malicious or some," and then we can find the problem. In my opinion.
Oh, you said that, hey, this is dangerous to publish, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
All right.
So if the someone find it and they how do I say, they knows they have how to say that. Usually, they just complain about the SNS or something. Usually, some percent of the people can find our repository or our documentation and find the correct contact point, but it's rare, in my opinion.
Okay, all right. We are getting back this topic probably after day 3 or 4. Yeah.
A better way to actually find it is, okay, you might not know which part of your organization might be using this project, this open source tool. I would say go with the basics. Make a search for that project into your GitHub organization or Azure DevOps organization. You will see all the matching strings. You will actually be surprised. Many of the projects use tools and they don't even realize it. So depending on the developer to remember that, okay, we use this tool or we do not, can be a bit risky. So just doing a simple grep-based search or just searching on the portal will tell you more if you are exposed more than what you thought. Would be a recommendation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you. Okay, so next is for CISO. Yeah, protocol. Well, is there any automated checks before trusting upstream releases if there is something malicious or not?
Yeah, well, I would expect us to be running some sort of scanning on our dependencies to make sure that things check out. And then when we're trying to analyze the dependencies that we're ingesting from the outside, we should be looking into malware from them. But in this case, clearly something didn't work. But at this exact moment, we should be working towards containment and instead of deeply investigating the problem. So we need to take a second look at our tooling and our CI/CD systems ingesting those dependencies, but not right now, because right now we need to locate and quickly mitigate the problem.
Great, thank you. Well, for OSPO guy, Takanori, this is kind of invasion to the CI system, because that means the project, open source project, is not healthy, right? So my question for you is, how should we keep the open source project healthy in the standard of OSPO?
As OSPO of the Okay. As OSPO in the company, we should make the SBOM for our software component, and we can find which software is affected by the vulnerability, and so we can find which part is vulnerable or not. And about the open source project, actually, after such incident happened, it's already too late. So actually, before that, for example, we can join to the project and help the project to make the SBOM or making also making the attestation of the building process and applying some security framework like SALSA or such things, or checking the project healthiness by OpenSSF scorecard, or by getting the best practice. I forgot the badge. Yeah, best practice badge. And by such tools or frameworks, we can make the open source project more healthier.
So to support the open source project, to apply some framework.
Yeah,
right?
for making such project healthier, we should go out from company and help the project. And if actually such project is essential and important for us, we should send the developer or support some by financial way or such things.
Human resources and money.
Yeah.
Hey, very cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to add some color to that. So the first thing to note is I would push back on the idea that the open source project is not healthy. The first thing to remember is that the open source project got owned and received some malware into their code base. But remember that we as a company had the same thing happen to us with all our millions, right? The open source project, maybe one person working on it with full passion, but no resources, and we just got owned by the same thing, probably not through the same vector, but most likely. So what I would like to really communicate to the rest of the team is that we should not paint the project as being unhealthy. So they're doing their effort, and what we really want to make sure is that our organization is supporting the maintainers as much as we can so that they can get that fix out the door quickly and with as much as help from us as possible. We are one of the affected parties, but you can expect them to have a ton of other users yelling at them because of the same one. And we are being nice here, because usually, and I say this as a maintainer of large open source projects, you will see I don't know, I can only think of offensive words, but the employees of people like me as a CISO showing up in the repositories and demanding the fix to be opened. And us as maintainers, you just tend to brush them off. And the more the aggressive they turn, you sometimes, well, let them cook in their own hate until they come up with their proper resources and at least some respect.
So that means not only the open source project is responsible for that, we are responsible for that, right?
We all are, yes.
Yep. Shoot.
Thank you. In many companies, especially in Japanese company, OSPO and the security team are separated in many cases. And OSPO usually don't have the responsibility for the security perspective. In such case, are there any example or use case or best practices? Or should OSPO have responsibility for security?
Any comment?
Yeah. So for for a year and a half or so, I was a one-person OSPO, not officially, but practically. And the first thing that you'll notice about OSPOs and their place and their shape in the organization is that they come in many sizes. Some OSPOs, their primary function is educating the rest of the company on what open source is, that it's not scary, that they can use it, and so on. But some other OSPOs are there to make sure that the company is open sourcing and being a good citizen externally. So depending on the OSPO in your organization, that may change. And the other is, I think the burden of the security incident should never land on the OSPO. In an incident like this, at least this is my opinion, the OSPO should be in charge of establishing a link of communication with the open source maintainers. I don't know if you have other.
I would agree to what he's saying. Like an OSPO should behave like an incident commander. They should actually let other people do the work and protect the blame from reaching the team. I agree to what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Before jumping to the next day, let me ask a customer. Well, this introduced some new dependency, because dependency of something malicious. So my question is, this is a tough question. This is a tough question. How can you track that new dependency in your Windows software? What do you think about it? How to track that new dependency?
New dependency.
Of software. Software is something changed, right? So how can you track the change?
It's very hard to think. I don't know. What happened? I don't know. What happening?
No idea.
I think her answer is pretty good,
Yeah,
because the
please.
customer might not actually know.
Okay.
Very good answer, I would say.
I can talk about our role
Sure.
in helping her. So us as a company would be issuing security advisories for our products. Whenever we have a security incident, probably we're too early for that, but at some point we will be issuing a security advisory so that you're using Uber Cache or whatever the product name was. So we will be issuing an advisory that says, okay, this version of the product that you're using has a vulnerability, and that's how we communicate that to you.
Yeah. I also have the same opinion. Usually, the consumer doesn't have enough knowledge about the security, and we cannot expect such situations. So the company or the product maker using open source, such company should provide the understandable and correct information to the customers. And I think that is a responsibility for the product maker to the customers.
So in other words, the customer wants to be provided the correct and precise information from a vendor. Do you want it?
I don't know. Inside source code, I don't care. I don't care about source code. It's black box. So please give me information about what's happening.
Oh, yes.
Exact problem and exact solution if you have it.
Yes.
So customers pay money for you.
Yes.
Yeah, and
may I ask for moderator, in day one, whether teams care about the incident reproduction code. If the incident reproduction code exists, some sort of script kiddie trying to reproduce incident with the product at initial day, some sort of the zero-day attack exists. But in this scenario, incident reproduction code exists or not?
Well, actually, after that, this is day 3. Well, now
I understand.
Now the situation, we are not disclosing the vulnerability because it's dangerous, not yet. Because that's dangerous, as you see, right? So this is the identify phase, right?
Thank you.
Okay, nice advice. So let's jump into day 3, right? Before that, the Hank said, there's a page Hank said, sorry, where is the cursor? Okay. Small wrap-up page, right? Hank said, Hank has some oracle, right? Hank says correct thing always. Well, the lesson from here is, of course, the CI pipeline hardening is critical for open source project. Yes, that's right. And for that, we can use some framework, like Salsa or something. Because Salsa is defining, hey, we should record everything in the process as a provenance, like an attestation. So it helps the situation. And of course, SBOM is useful for this situation, right? Yes, for the early detection of something malicious, right? This is what Honk says here, right? Okay, so let's jump into day 3. Day 3, this is a scramble phase. Scramble and communication phase. We have to disclose this information. So day 3, the open source project discloses compromises of CI credentials and noting malicious actors pushes altered packets to NPM. Oh, this is disclosed. And of course, media is now starting coverage the spreads and vendors now scrambles. So what we should do here, right? And the question, okay, let me ask something. So first, what is better? All right, Ospo. How do you engage with upstream project? Now we are scrambling, so how communicate with upstream project?
Ideally, we should join to the project and with sending the developer.
We should. We
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. And we should we should solve the problem together with the community. And if it's possible, we should suggest the idea how to fix or contribute the patches. And we should work together with the community.
So on the other perspective for maintenance developer, so how can we communicate with the stakeholders, including company or someone else?
Communicate with the users?
Yes, including communicate or cooperate.
About this incident or specific for this incident or not?
Oh yeah, in this phase.
this page.
How to cooperate with stakeholders.
We just published some incident report for the public, and we specify the communication channel for that. Such a mailing list or issue tracker or something, not the private channel for that. Usually, if they pay a lot of money for me, I set the private channel for them, but it's not. So we usually create the communication channel. The transparency is important for the every users, because some opinion or question is important for all of the users. So I prefer the public channel to communicate with the users, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you. Well, and for researcher, now media is scrambling, so we have to communicate with some non-technical guys. So how should we communicate with non-technical stakeholders for technical findings? Do you have any idea?
I think for the technical findings, so as a researcher, so I'll give my answer in this. So if I'm part of the open source project, then I can provide some. So then I can provide some technical guidance. But say if I'm not part of the open source project, I'm an independent researcher who happened to find this problem. There are certain things which I would do. In this case, as I mentioned earlier, I would keep on looking if there are any actors who are claiming to utilize this opportunity. And in this case, I would like to compare myself to a journalist who might know that some companies might be compromised, but I will not go ahead and share that information with the media, because that will cause further damage. If I know that certain organizations are compromised, I will try to reach out to them via if they have any security programs, any program, any security person I can get hold of, that, hey, are you aware that somebody on the internet is claiming that they have already compromised your system? And I would try to get their attention. Of course, I have to do it in a very discreet manner, because it should not, if I do it publicly, it can basically cause harm to the company's reputation. I will also, essentially, I'll keep an eye on that. So if the developer, as mentioned, if they reach out to me, I will share this information with them. If not, I'll try to reach out to them. But the real scope of the damage can never be identified, because open source packages get used by so many companies, big or small. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Yep.
So what do you think about the reliability of the company incident report? So as you're a researcher, so probably you might need to make some report in the public, but sometimes companies tend to not to disclose everything because of they scare of their reputation down. So probably the information shared with that developer or company, it's not included in 100% of the that incident report. But as your role of a researcher, you need to pick up maybe some certain information or useful information in the public. So what do you think about this reliability of incident report?
So if you ask my recommendation, I always recommend that companies, so multiple ways to solve this problem. If you know that a certain version of your open source project is affected, I would recommend to the developers, can rolling back to a previous version avoid the problem? So do you know from which version onwards there was malware in the project? Secondly, sometimes companies are not upfront. Mostly, companies are not honest in admitting that they have got problems because they fear this thing. But they should also try to understand that in security, if you make an honest and transparent acceptance, you actually gain public trust in the long run rather than trying to protect it in the short run. They think that the problem will pass away and we will just slide by. But if the problem does not pass away, it really damages your public reputation, especially in front of security people. That will be my recommendation. It does not happen in real life.
Thank you very much.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, this is also the decision point by the CISO, because CISO is Information Security Officer. So any comment from CISO?
Let me think. So at this point, we already know that the researcher got in touch with the open source project, and hopefully we have good policies around responsible disclosure of those vulnerabilities. So they talk through a secure private channel and coordinated time to disclose the vulnerability in a way that the researcher can get credit, that it gives an open source project some time to fix the vulnerability, us to respond as a company. And perhaps the open source project, and this is the case for some projects, choose to do this, like they have a closer, like a close set of people who get notified early of this notification, so we're already past that. Because the media already knows everything about it. So us as a, I think, and I don't know, so I'm not an executive, but I would expect my company at this point to already have a strategy and a path to implement a fix and a mitigation, so that when the vulnerability explodes in the media, my customers know that we are looking at it, we're working on it, and most importantly, I don't land up either under a lawsuit or in jail or testifying again in front of some government agency.
Actually, that is why preparing is very important. The first question that you asked before an incident happens, when you're chilling on your desktop eating food, maybe you should have some plan in place that if these things happen, do we have a PR person ready or not? Do we have the legal person ready or not? We should be doing the homework for that.
Yes, yes. Well, so I would like to ask customer. So something is disclosed, something is not. So my question is, how does this disclosure affect your trust for open source project and the vendor, like Logical?
We are good.
I don't know about the open source project. Yeah, when recover the system, not OSS. I don't know OSS. When recover, please recover the system as soon as possible. Yeah. Or is there alternative way to recover? I don't know. What?
Back into the old version.
Go ahead.
It means if it's possible to avoid the problem by version down, such information is needed. You say.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know what is the best way.
So maybe company release the new version with the old open source code. So customer can easily find just upgrade to the new version. It's easy to understand for her.
I see.
In my opinion. Yeah.
Do you have a question?
I was going to say exactly that.
Thank you. Yeah. Sometimes the technical detail for the customers is so too much difficult and to understand.
Yes.
So just customer want to know about its effect or not. What should I do for that. So a simple information should give to the customer from some companies. Yeah.
That might be another answer the question before for a researcher for how to communicate with non-technical guy.
I would actually, so I agree with you guys to a certain extent. Yes, release a product, but that does not solve if you had already been compromised.
Yes.
You might think that you have upgraded, life is good, but during the time that you did not upgrade, you might have already been compromised. So I would like to advise the customers. This advice can come from the open source project, or I would like to basically advise to the customer that please monitor your systems for signs of unusual behavior, and keep a lookout. Just be vigilant is what my recommendation will be.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you in this phase. So again, Hank says some oracle. Well, also in our discussion, well, this is actually the, confusing and scrambling phase. So I believe the, what should I say, holding who is the stakeholder in advance is very important, right? So how to communicate, who is the communicating guy?
Identify who is the
right. Yes.
right person to communicate.
Yeah, that's very important. Yes, I see. And probably, he said that SBOM is probably can shorten the response time. Probably, yes. Okay, all right. So jumping to the next days. Not next. 4 days later, day 7, yes. Clean patch is released by the project. Okay, good. With improved CI protection, right? The vendor, large co, must now ship remediated software while handling customer churn and potential audit. Churn is a customer leaving. That means to control the customers leaving and potential audits, right? Okay, so what can we do here? Well, so first, CISO. How do you validate and release the purchased version? This is okay or not? How do you validate?
Okay. Well, at this point, since it took 4 days to get the patch with the fix in, I would expect our engineers to already have identified how we missed that vulnerability coming into our systems, and now we should be able to catch it. Now, I would be more concerned about validating the patch. I would be more concerned about spending time to understand the potential impact to our customers, to provide them the guidance that they would need to find out if they're compromised, if they are, what solutions we can offer them, so that they can, get out of the hole as easy as possible. Yeah, I think.
But is there some long-term safeguard we need?
I would say yes. I'm not sure this is time to be thinking about them. Yeah, I don't know. I would reserve that to the postmortem at the very end.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. The OSPO. Yep. Do we need some updated process to intake or utilize the open source?
Okay. I think anyway the start point is SBOM, and with SBOM we can find which open source software we are using, and we can list up how many and which software we use so much or not, and which component is most critical for our business or not. So by SBOM, we can find many things for what we should do, and so we can do. We can check the open source project by before adapting to our company by the scorecard, OpenSSF scorecard or best practice badges and baseline. So we can check the project more with taking care, and if it's not enough, we can join and fix the situation.
So request or to jump in the open source project to improve the situation.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the maintainer, developer, so do you have any idea to improve the situation, for example, to harden the CS system? Because now that in this situation, it was compromised.
So I should understand what the attack surface about this incident and how to fix it, and learn it from the community or some expert or something, and to know there is important thing other than coding. Some developers just want to concentrate to coding, but if they publish their code to the public and distribute it, there's a lot of people to involve their codes. So I should learn about how to distribute the code securely, especially fix the CI pipeline and make to check to revoke the old credentials and create the new credentials and add some multi-factor authentication or introduce the salsa or something from the community to understand what the problem and learn about how to fix or improve it.
Well, yeah, good insight. Yeah, most of open source developers are interested in writing good code, but also providing the good code is also important thing for open source developers. Yes. And at the very end, the customer, well, I mean, do you need some assurance from vendor to go forward?
Assurance.
Yeah. So in short, any request? For vendor?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for recovering system. And you
Nice.
you are good job. And please tell me in Japanese, okay? 再発防止策. Please
Very good. You
translate.
understand?
Please tell me 再発防止策.
Not to happen again. So please provide a measure not to happen again.
The customer is asking the vendor, how are you gonna good job on protecting, but how are you gonna prevent it from happening again?
Actually, the 100% preventing such incident is difficult, but we can do many things to the possibility to prevent such situation because, as I said, making the project more healthier, or like he said, making the more better reporting system in the project, or as he said, the easy build system for secure CI system for developers, or such thing is more making better for the customers eventually.
Just super quickly, I'm happy to have to chicken out and throw the OSP under the bus so that they can answer it instead of me.
Something that came to mind, which like a year ago I thought would be unrealistic, but my company recently did this, is to release multiple versions of our products that use different dependencies but have the same functionality. So we can say, if this happens to this dependency, then try the other version, that kind of thing. So it may be possible in certain cases.
So I think it's important to, at least in my point of view, and I know most companies don't operate in this way, I think it's important to be super transparent on how the vulnerability affected the product, and then what are the steps that we implemented to mitigate it first, so that whatever fix we put out the door fairly quickly, customers can have like at least peace of mind that it's somewhat safe to run. And then when we implement a big fix with coordination with the open source project, they know that one, the attack vector that was used to first breach the project and then us and then the customer is now closed, and then we have measures to capture this thing again. But I think it's not enough, because it's like you don't fix problems in the back. Usually these problems will be pointing out to other problem areas in the organization that need to be fixed. So I would try to understand at least, and this is probably work to be done after the incident, so understanding, okay, so where did we fail? Why didn't have the security measures in place that would have allowed us to catch this incident before shipping it to our customers, and then communicating that clearly to our end users and customers.
Yes. Okay. Well, again, oh, sorry. Honk says, well, this is we are in phase for middle and long-term lesson. Well, so as Hideki said, that some measure is needed for CS system in this case, or also authentication and authorization in the CSCD system. And for customer, probably we need to reassess the vendor risk here. And for the vendor, we need to reassess the community resilience. And if there is no or less resilience of the community, the vendor should or have to support for OSS project for the business continuity, right? So this is a lesson here. Okay, all right. So the case is over, finished. All right, so now the operation gets normal. Well, so lesson learned. Listed. Probably almost then covered in our discussion. The first one is, number one is not covered here. One is assign an executive responsible for the plan, right? Okay, yeah, this is very important. The number two, develop taxonomy. Taxonomy is a categorize risk, threat, and the potential failure modes. Yeah, what will be happen, categorized and ready for them. And number 3, develop easily accessible quick response guides. A document is very important. There's no guide. We don't know, hey, what we have to do in the trouble, okay? And then number 4, establish processes for making major decisions. Yes, who should decide, how to decide, documenting them in advance is very important. And number 5, maintain relationship with key external stakeholders, such as law enforcement. This is focusing on the law enforcement, but of course it includes the open source project guy, and customers, of course vendors, how to communicate, who is the guy counterpart. It's very important. To clear them is very important in advance, right? Okay, and number 6, maintain SLAs and relationship with breach remediation providers, experts. Yes, experts need experts. And without experts, we can do nothing. So relationship with experts is very important, right? Number 7, ensure the documented response plan is available to the entire organization. This is very important. Document, right, in advance. Number 8, make sure staff members understand their roles and their responsibilities. Yes, fortunately, we have good staffs, but it's not always, so it's very important. And number 9, identify individuals who are critical for incident response and ensure redundancy. This is very hard to have a redundant team, but it's very important, I think. At number 10, train, practice, and run simulated breaches. We are simulating that. That is number 10. Okay. All right. Honk. Honk suddenly get crazy. Honk. All right. We have some resources. OpenSSF has a vulnerability disclosure working group, and Tabletop Excercise is one of the outcome. Well, and the working group is now preparing a tabletop exercise in a box for everyone's exercising. So please stay tuned. All right, that's all. And please big applause to our team.